Rebounds is 38.5. You going more or less?
Over, because they're going to need it if they're going to win tonight. Got to go over.
LeBron going to have a big night, and we'll see if he's able to do it for them. So that's a more. Marcus, Luka Doncic, points plus assists tonight, more or less than 37.5. What do you think?
I'm going more. Luka is going to be dominant in this game. They understand that they need to get a win. Offensively, he's just getting to wherever he want to get. I think he's way over, to be honest.
Yes, I would say if he's under, then the Lakers are going home. He had 37 points alone the other night. Finally, Booze, Anthony Edwards, his total points tonight is 25.5. What do you think?
Going over. He had that last game. He's going to be even more aggressive in game 2.
Now, Anthony Edwards looking to give the Timberwolves a critical advantage in the series. So if you're riding with us tonight, we've made that into a parlay. You can bet it at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook with odds of plus 455. Look for the more or less featured parlay on the homepage and in the parlay lounge. So this might only be game 2 of the series, but Kendrick Perkins was on NBA Today yesterday saying the urgency level is high for LA.
The Lakers got to win. They're in a must-win situation game 2. Otherwise, they're going to get swept. And I wouldn't say that with that much confidence if Anthony Edwards wasn't on the other side. He's going to make you feel pain any chance he get. You better win game 2.
I've kept D. Wood in this conversation because he is our resident Laker fan, knows that team as well as you can know it. Big Perk just said your season ends tonight if you lose. You buy it?
Yes, absolutely. Minnesota played with such a sense of urgency game 1. They were more physical. They got to all the loose balls. They got to the rack. They had wide open threes. I don't know, going into this game, and I always talk about it should be the coach's job to make sure you guys are ready. It's the players that should make sure that they're ready to go on the court. Clearly, they were not ready. The Minnesota Timberwolves had their way, getting to the hole. That's why you saw so many uncontested three-pointers, and they made them. I don't expect Minnesota to make it at such a high clip, but if the Lakers don't increase their intensity, particularly on the defensive end, this thing could be over before we get going.
It was interesting, Booze. J.J. Redick sort of acknowledged in the media availability, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before that I saw it, that he said maybe during the week that they had off, they didn't work hard enough. They didn't practice hard enough. It was sort of an interesting admission by the coach that maybe he didn't really have them as ready as they needed to be. I don't know that I buy that. I mean, maybe he's just trying to take the heat off his players because at the end of the day, as D. Wood says, I mean, your season is on the line. Do you agree with that? Is the Lakers season on the line in game 2 tonight?
I do think that reflection is the mark of a good coach. I do think their season's on the line. If they go down 0-2 while there's 2 home games are in LA going back to Minnesota with this team, it could be over. It could be over very quickly.
So, Marcus, who is the one person you were looking at tonight? Who is the one player who has to get it done for the Lakers to get back in this series?
I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say LeBron James. I just think he needs to be really assertive, miss or makes. I think he need to get easy baskets. I think he just need to assert his domination into this series. But I don't think if they go down 0-2, any team with LeBron James or Luka Doncic will have a chance, but they really do need this win tonight.
It is an interesting thing, Booze, because, you know, Luka got so hot in the first quarter. He had 16 points in the first quarter. Maybe LeBron was sort of sitting back and saying, all right, it's going to be his night offensively. What Marcus is saying is LeBron's got to say, it's my, no matter what else happens, I've got to be aggressive offensively tonight.
Yeah, LeBron can't have 0 points in the first quarter. That's a problem. I don't mind Luka being on fire. He's always on fire in the first half. We've seen that since he became a Laker. But LeBron can't have 0 points in the first quarter.
They got to find their way tonight. Yes. It is a critical game. In the meantime, we turn our attention to these quotes from yesterday. Nico Harrison, the much maligned, I don't know what you describe it, the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks who traded away Luka Doncic, and we've all seen the results. He had his end-of-season press conference yesterday. He was asked about the anger of the fan base and whether LeBron and Luka and the Lakers trying to even up their series for the Timberwolves tonight after getting blown out Saturday. LeBron held in check with 19. Luka had 37, but just 1 assist. Listen to Big Perk on NBA Today yesterday talking about the importance of tonight for LA.
The Lakers got to win. They're in a must-win situation game 2. Otherwise, they're going to get swept. And I wouldn't say that with that much confidence if Anthony Edwards wasn't on the other side. He's going to make you feel pain any chance he get. You better win game 2.
That was Big Perk yesterday. So we have Marcus Morris and Carlos Boozer with us, but I'm going to start with D. Wood because I want to hear the voice of the fan. I want to hear the voice of the Laker fan. Is your season on the line in Game 2 tonight?
Greeny, we got to win tonight. We got to win tonight because I think Anthony Edwards smelled blood in the water. He smelled it. Like when they put that performance the Minnesota Timberwolves put on, they knew. Like they straight punked the Lakers at home the other night. They did. They played with more. They played with more sense of urgency. They played with more physicality. Where were the Lakers role players? Where was Austin Reeves? Where was Rui Hachimura? Like none of those guys showed up. But the thing that I hang my hat on with the Lakers, what they need to do, I think it starts defensively. They got to play better. They could not stay in front of the Minnesota players all night long. Anthony Edwards and company had their way driving through the lane and then kick out to wide open threes. If you can't play defense in the postseason, you have no shot. I don't care how good Luka plays. I don't care how good LeBron plays. If you don't play defense in the postseason, you will be sitting at home in Cancun. You'll be sitting beside me, okay? And I don't want my Lakers sitting beside me. I can tell you that.
How about D. Wood for a basketball analyst, right? Is that outstanding?
Great. That
we could all just sit back and listen. Marcus, so let's get directly onto the floor. What is the one thing you told me this morning in the meeting the Lakers absolutely need tonight to get back in this series?
And I agree with Woody. I definitely think they need to play defense. But to be honest, I think LeBron James has to assert himself offensively in Game 2. Like he has to get easy basket. He has to get in that lane. And he has to dominate this game offensively. He has a great mind. We know he can play defense. We know he can slide with anyone to switch 1 through 5. But offensively, he has to take control of this game. I think it will open up for the others or give him more confidence, but I need to see LeBron be very offensively assertive to start this game and to finish this game.
What are you watching for LeBron tonight?
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's going to come out aggressive. I think he knows that he can give more. We've seen him do it time and time again. Like, how many times have he lost Game 1 and we saw Game 2 him being just locked in and be unbelievable? For me, it's the others. Hayes had 1 point. Finney-Smith had 3 points. Vanderbilt 2 points. Hachimura 9. Vincent 3. Only 13 bench points. The others have to step up. I do agree with Woody and with Marcus. Obviously, Luka's going to be unstoppable. He has to play great. LeBron has to be unstoppable. He has to play great. But the others have to assist their stars.
I find it interesting, and I'd be curious during your career how much of a factor this is. Shows like this one, we have a Laker fan now, we have a Knicks fan now, we have all these big market stuff. There were some players, I think Reggie Miller was always a little bit like this, and I feel like Ant is a little bit like this. Like, oh, you guys like to talk about them all the time. Well, let me show you what I'm doing here. You know, he doesn't get the attention because where he played, last year he made the great playoff run and all that. There are some players who I think kind of like that. They thrive on that. And I feel like Anthony Edwards is that guy.
Yeah, I think Ant's definitely that guy. I think he watches. I think he pays attention. I think he wants to be the guy. I think that, like what he said, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder because all of us picked the Lakers to win this series.
Right.
All of us picked the Lakers to win Game 1.